Hi guys, it's Miss Wolf. I'm not here today at school, but I am here today on the TV, and I made a lesson for you to watch so you can see how to do the project without me even being here. I'm probably at home sick. Hopefully, I'm not sick, but sometimes teachers get sick too and have to take a day off. So today I'm going to do a project with you using a name or a word, and we're going to make it look really interesting by the way that we use the lines and the colors and the spaces in the artwork. A lot of artists who work in a field of art called graphic design signs and symbols called logos for companies and businesses, and they try to make those words that we see in those the names of the companies usually look really interesting, so that we'll want to look at it more and we might want to buy something that they make. Like here are some logos by some graphic design artists of some different companies. They are all backwards on the video today because the video camera turns words around backwards like looking in a mirror. So you may not be able to read them as easily today since they are backwards on the video. But you can probably tell that some of them are. Like this is the NBC Peacock logo for the TV channel. And then we've got Visa, which is a bank, spelled backwards because the camera is flipping it around backwards. But you can see that the artists that made these symbols use different colors. They use different types of letters, block letters, line letters, cursive letters. They use the letters in interesting ways sometimes to make it look like pictures, like NASA symbol. Where is it? Right here. The A's in NASA look like the top of a rocket ship because NASA is the organization that sends astronauts into space. So sometimes they use symbols too for their company in their logos. And the colors do matter with the companies usually too. So they are there to help us think about what they're selling and look interesting to people who might want to buy something from them. So they pay artists a lot of money to come up with those symbols. And it's not as easy as it looks, but it is a really good career if you're good at drawing. I did something similar in the classroom with our numbers over our sinks. I wrote the numbers and made them look like art materials. Now, these numbers are also backwards on the video, but if you look at them in the classroom, in your actual classroom that you're sitting in right now, you can see that the number 1 looks like a pencil, and the number 2 sink sign for number 2 looks like paint coming out of a paint tube. It looks like an S on the video, but if you look at the real number over by the sink, you'll see it looks like a number 2, and then the number 3 is the handles of some scissors. So I was trying to make the numbers over our sinks look more interesting than just having numbers on the wall. So they look like art materials in the art room. It's kind of decorative that way too. So it's symbolic of art materials and a good way of making things look more interesting. So a lot of artists do that. And there's more than just graphic designers who do that, but it is an area of art that you can make a lot of money in if you're good at drawing and creating things. So we're going to make a sign today using a word. In the video, my name is backwards on this sign because the video turns words backwards. But in person, you can see it on the board, and it says Wolf the right direction. It's my last name, Wolf. You could use your last name for this project, or you could use your first name, or a middle name, or a nickname, or someone else's name if you want to write somebody else's name for this project. It could be a word, too. It doesn't have to be a name. Like I could write the word art, even though it's just 3 letters. If I added something like an exclamation point after it, then that would be 4 letters, and that would be enough for this project because I would like you to have 4 to 6 letters in this name or word. So think of a word or a name right now that you could have in this drawing. You could make it to put in your classroom for your teacher, your regular classroom teacher, or you could make it for home for somebody to see at home, like on your bedroom door or in your kitchen. So you can make it as a gift to give somebody. It's your choice. Think about what kind of word or name you would like to write with 4 to 6 letters. Has to be, a word that we can use in school too. And the first thing we're going to do is write that word on your sheet of paper. Well, before we write our name or the word we're going to use for the project, we also need to write our name on the paper so we know it's yours later. So write your name on the back when you get your piece of paper. Our substitute that's here today is going to give each of you a sheet of paper now. And I'd like you to take your pencil, write your name on the back, and turn it over. And once everybody has their name on the back, the substitute can start this video back up. So they might want to pause it right now and come back when everybody's ready. Okay, I hope you're ready now. Got your name on the back. Always want to put it there so we don't forget later. Now we're going to turn it over, and I'd like you to turn your paper the long way across because words stretch out, usually across. In English, we write our letters side to side, from left to right. But in other languages, sometimes people that live in different parts of the world and speak different languages write their letters going up and down. They start at the top and go down, or at the bottom and go up, or they write them right to left. So not every language is the same, but because we speak English in America, we're going to write our words going across. Like I wrote the word wolf going long way across. So turn your paper the long way across and your word will fit much better. All right, so we're going to choose a name or a word that is 4 to 6 letters, or 3 letters with an exclamation point would be fine too, or another symbol like 3 letters and a heart, something like that would be fine too. All right, we're going to start over as far as we can on the side without running off the side of the paper. So leave a little bit of space and then start with your first letter. I'm going to write a big letter J because my first name starts with a J. I don't know if you can see that, so I'm going to use a Sharpie. Am I going to use a Sharpie? I am not going to use a Sharpie because that will mess up the next part of the project. So I will just pull the camera closer so you can see it. There's my big letter J. Make it pretty big, leave some space up at the top and at the bottom and on one side, but we need a lot of room going the other direction too for the rest of the name or word. You choose which word or name. It doesn't have to be a J. It's a big line letter with just lines. It doesn't have to be cursive or block style, nothing fancy. If you want to make it fancier later, you can do that, but let's just start with a simple line. Okay, and then I'm going to write my next letter. It's not a capital letter, so it's going to be smaller. I'm spelling out my nickname for Jennifer. My nickname is Jen, so J-E-N-N. You write out whatever kind of word or name that you want for your sign that we're making. Okay, after you write the line letters, then you might want to go back and add some little curly parts, some little curly cues, little loopy lines coming off the ends of your letters, or well, that made it not look like an E. We don't want to keep people from being able to read it. So we want to be careful where we put the loops. Actually, I think it still looks like an E. So I'm going to put some little curvy lines on the top of my ends. Maybe one on the J. You could curve down or up. If you want to make it kind of curly on the ends, you can, but you don't have to do that. If you like just straight lines, that's fine too. All right, so I wrote the word, my name, my nickname, Jen. You write your name and add some little accents or decoration to the letters if you want to. I'm going to try to move the camera just a bit closer so we can see it better there. All right, now we're going to make this name or word really interesting by the way we use the colors and where we put the colors, going around the letters so we can still read the word. We do need to think about what we know about color. We've had lots of lessons in our art class about color and color wheels and how some colors go together better and how some colors make other colors. We're going to use markers to color this, so if you put colors next to each other that don't blend together, that are not next to each other on a color wheel, you might end up with gray, because when you mix some colors together, like opposites together, it makes gray, and gray is probably not a really bright, interesting color. So we'll try to use colors that are next to each other on the color wheel, next to each other in our picture. In my wolf sign that I already made, I used all the colors of the rainbow. So I started with red, and then went to, there's red, which is at the top of the rainbow, and then went to orange and yellow, green, blue, and violet. So it's red in the middle, and then orange and yellow, green, blue, and violet, just like a rainbow. If you want to make yours a rainbow word with all those colors, you could do that. But you don't have to. You don't have to use all 6 of those colors. but I would like you to try to use at least, let's say, 4 colors, so it's very colorful, and there's lots of different parts to this, and so it's not just a word on a piece of paper. I think with this one, I'm going to start with blue. And whatever color you decide to start with, we're going to first, well, I'm going to let you stop right now, let the substitute pause the video and let you decide what colors you're going to use. You can get those colors ready out of your marker boxes. Pick out at least 3 or 4 colors. Let's say 4 or more if you want all 6 of the rainbow colors. You'll need red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, all the primary and secondary colors. If you'd like to use a different group of colors, that's fine. Let's try to get all those markers out right now, get them ready, set them out beside your paper so you have them all ready to go when you're ready to use them. All right, and the substitute can just start this video back when everybody's got their colors chosen. All right, now we're going to use our colors. Pick the first color that you want to put in the middle where the letters actually are, in the center of the picture where the letters are, and we're first going to draw a line going across the paper with that color. So I'm going to use blue first, and I'm going to draw a line going across the paper first. All right, then I want you to use that same color and trace the letters that you wrote your word or name with. So just go over the lines where you drew the letters or names. On this one I'm using blue. On the word wolf, I used red first. So the letters were red where the lines were for the letters. So first you're going to trace your letters with your first color. Use the same color for all of these parts. All the letters and the line that goes across. Use that same color. Just pick one color. I'm also going to go back and make some of parts of the letters thicker. So we can make our lines thicker if we just go back with that same color and color right next to the first line. You can make different parts of the letters thicker, or all of the letters thicker if you want. Just go back and make the line where the letter is wider or thicker with your marker. Same color. We're not switching colors yet. There's my N. If at any time you need more time than what I'm giving you while I'm drawing mine, your substitute teacher is welcome to pause the video until everybody catches up. Okay, so I just made the lines thicker, and you can read my word better now. I didn't trace a line going across and make it wider or thicker, but you could do that if you'd like to. I think I'll do that real quick while you're working on yours. Okay, I hope everybody has traced their letters and the line across the middle with one color. All right, now we're going to use another color. It should be a color that is next to the first color you chose on the color wheel. So since I used blue, it would need to be a color that's next to blue on the color wheel, which is either green or violet. It's another name for purple. So I could put purple or green next to the blue lines, and it won't make gray. If I put orange next to blue, it would make the letters turn gray between them. That might not look so good. I think I'm going to choose violet for my next color. You decide what color you need for your next color. Whatever color you chose first, you need to use the color that's next to it on the color wheel for the next part. All right, when you have that color ready, we're going to start where the line is in the middle and draw or color another line that's above that one. Make it stop where the letter stops, and then go next to the letter, the line that you drew for the letter, all the way around the letter. So it's going to go next to the first color on both sides of the letter and all the way around, and both sides of the line in the middle too. Now we don't need to color over the first color, just color next to it. I am coloring over mine just a little bit in some places, not intentionally, but just because it's a little bit hard to control it sometimes. And yours might do that too. And it's okay, because if you use colors next to each other and they mix together, they're gonna make another interesting color. Like my blue and purple is making blue-violet. But if it was blue and orange mixing together, it'd make gray. Yeah, that's why I want you to choose colors that are next to each other. So we're just gonna go next to the first line that you colored all the way across the picture. So we're going over the letters on the top, and we're going under the letters at the bottom. And if there's a part on the inside, go on the inside of that letter with the new color too. Like this E has a circle or oval shape inside. I need to go inside of the blue with my new color, purple. So we're coloring over and under with the second color. Over the first letter and under the first letter with the second color. You can see how to do it right here while I'm doing it. If you have any questions, raise your hand, and your substitute should be able to help you figure out where you need to put this second color. We're going to use more and more different colors and do the same thing with those as well. So we need to know what we're doing. So if you're not sure what you're doing, raise your hand and the substitute will help you. We also need to put the second color under the straight line and over the straight line that goes through the middle of the picture, which is what I'm doing now. So now you can see I've got a blue line for the letters in the middle of all the purple lines. Blue and purple are both dark, so they might be hard to see, but I'll move it closer so you can see it better. Blue is in the center, where the lines that I wrote first were, and then purple is all around the outside of each letter and the line in the middle. That actually looks pretty cool like that. You might like that. But let's try to use at least 2 more colors, and maybe more if you like more colors in it. So the next color needs to be a color that's next to the last one you used. The last one I used was purple. So I wouldn't want to use yellow. That's the opposite of purple. What is next to purple on the color wheel? Let's see. Next to purple on the color wheel is red, so I could use red next. Or I could go back and add another line of blue. If you want to use the same color again, you could. You can make a pattern with different colors that way. But I think I'm going to go to red, so it's very colorful and has lots of different colors in it. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did with purple with red. I'm going to go over the purple with red and next to purple with red around my letters and on the line in the middle of the picture. You can make each section with each color as thick or as thin as you want. I'm just using straight lines pretty much next to the letters because we use straight lines to write the letters pretty much. There might be some curvy lines on some of the letters. But you could also use zigzags or curvy lines going around the letters instead of just straight lines. I'm just sticking with straight lines here. But if I wanted to make it a curvy line, I could just make a curvy, fluffy line with my marker and color that in. And it looks a little bit interesting, different, like a cloud shape almost. Doesn't always have to be straightforward. So we can have some different kinds of shapes and different kinds of lines in there too. But it needs to go all the way around each one of your letters so you can see your letters in all these different colors. So I'm using little wavy curvy lines on the red instead of some straight lines. If you like straight better, you can stick with straight though. So you're going to go around each one of the letters with your third color. And the line in the middle too. That was Miss Lynn. She came in to get my garbage or something. Did you see her on the video? So I'm going over the tops of the letters, under the letters, over the line, under the line. And even inside any open spaces inside letters, like the inside of that E is a big open space where you would be able to see different colors too. So I'm using curvier, fluffier red around each one of the letters. see what that looks like. I need to go under the ends. And you can be working on yours while I'm making mine. Pick your third color, go under the letters, over the letters, under the line that goes through the middle, and under the line. Under and over. That was 3 colors for me. How many colors do you have on yours now? I've got blue, purple, and now red. So that's 3 colors. I want you to have at least 4, so I'll need at least 1 more on mine, and I could add more if I wanted, and I want you to add another one if you only have 3. Next to red, I could go back to purple and make another area of purple around the letters, or I can go to orange. So I think I'll use orange next on mine. And if you decided rainbow colors were what you wanted, then you started with red, then you went to orange, and yellow, green, blue, and violet, just like a rainbow. But it doesn't have to be like a rainbow, it's your choice. I'm going to make the orange area kind of curvy, so I'm going to draw a curvy line going around the red all the way across the bottom, all the way across the top. When it curves up and down, this line curves up and down where the letters go up and down. Okay. Then I'm just going to fill in the space between the red and the line. It's not like outlining the whole word, the whole group of letters that makes a word. And then just fill it in. It takes a little time with markers to fill in spaces, but these are bright colors and it will put a whole lot of color, interest in the design if you make spaces big and put lots of color in those spaces. I hope you're working on yours while I'm working on mine at the same time. And I can't wait to see yours when I get back to school, to see how well they came out, what word you chose, all the colors you used, if you did your best. We always try to do our best. Some of you might have chosen something that's a school spirit thing. Stone Creek Elementary, SCE. That would be cool. But I just thought of that, so you may not have thought of it yet either. Okay. So I have got my 4th color on, and I think I like that. I don't think I want to add another color. If your 4th color makes yours look complete, like it's taking up enough space on the paper and there's not a lot of white left, then you might be finished when you finish with your 4th color. You could add things to the white part of the paper, the background, the space around the shapes of the letters. If you want to, I added little stars on this one with different colors and filled in the white space with a pattern of stars. You could draw little symbols, little pictures if you want, just something to fill in all the white empty background space if you have time. If you don't have time in class today to add something to the background, just leave it white. But if you have time, that would make it look even more interesting than just having a white background. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you made today when I come back. Make sure your name's on the back again, and let me see those wonderful graphic design drawings of your name or word. I'll see you soon.